Rolling down Highway 95, sailing through a hometown countryside. Move on over, stand aside, my cruise control and overdrive. Need to take my baby for a ride. Ooh, she's like a smooth stretch of highway. Ooh, like a cool summer breeze. If my motor's running right, or we might lose control tonight. Got the shape I love to squeeze, looks that bring me to my knees. So please let it roll tonight.
Hi, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to TW Teleproductions North Coast Game of the Week. First one of the brand new 2024 year. And there's a look at the holiday scene at the Duck Pond in Castalia as we get set to go inside at the Berg. From the pond to the Berg, we've got the Margaretta Polar Bears playing host to the Huron Tigers. SBC Bay Division action as these two perennial SBC foes get together once again and renew what's been a long-standing rivalry between these two. Always fun. There's so many iconic scenes at Margaretta High School. This one of them. Our pregame for Baybell Restaurant and the Bayview Center Bait Shop, located, of course, in Bayview. And there's the table greeting you as you come in. 50-50s, anyone?
It's fun.
And hello, we're here. Camera's on.
I enjoy it. Oh, look at this. 50-50 programs.
Yeah, try it's cold Coke, yeah.
That's mine of the week and help all the time. Let it roll. Hey, the worst baseball coach in our town. How's Rick? I always forget to say hi to Mark Fogg. Hey, Mark.
Now I'm forgettable. Well, I'm not saying hi to you either then, Mike. Well, we'll just roll past that. Here's the look at the Athletic Hall of Fame, and you can zero in on, a very familiar face. Ray Neal, Dale Neal, Raymond Dale Neal, RD, and the current head coach of the Margaretta Girls program, which I just saw a stat on the other day. The status of the Margaretta Girls athletic programs, grades 7 through 12, their teams so far, like halfway through the season, you combine the one-loss records of all of those teams, there's like about 2 or 3 losses in the whole program, which is just unbelievable. So congratulations to Ray and the great job he's doing with those gals at Margaretta. We saw the Polar Bears, now the Huron Tigers entering the scene under first-year head coach Toby Miller, who brings a wealth of basketball knowledge to the program. And there's veteran Steve Keller. And I don't even know if Steve would appreciate us calling him veteran, but he's been around for a while and does a great job with this Margaretta program, and they are in high gear right now. Here's your fan of the week. And it's brought to you by Snow Trails Winter Resort in Mansfield. I talked about iconic scenes at Margaretta High School. Here's one of them right here. Yeah, go. That's your fan of the week. Snow Trails Winter Resort, located in Mansfield. And with all the snow that's being manufactured down there right now, and with the colder weather upon us, now's the time for some great wintertime fun. I see, they approve. It's like, yeah, go for it. Down the hill we go. And there's our first bobblehead of the season. And the Polar Bears on the scene as well as we get set for this staging of the SBC Bay Division. And we go on to the stage to look at some of the Huron fans gathered as well on the visitor side as we zero in on head coach Toby Miller of the Huron Tigers, following up the great job that Bobby James did for 14 years at the helm of the Tigers. And Bobby now just kind of enjoying life, watching basketball. and having a good time doing that. You know, it's always fun when you have ex-head coaches sit beside you doing games on the radio or TV, whatever the case might be, and how relaxed they are and how much fun they have just watching the games now. There are the Belocks, ready to take in their Margaretta Polar Bears, and one Polar Bear in particular who's not even going to have a ball in her hands tonight.
What do you want me to do?
But Ellie will be cheering from the sidelines. You don't know what to do. There it is right there. That's what you do when the camera's on. You turn your head sideways and you've got it covered. Polar bear causing issues on the sidelines. Don't worry, we'll wake you up in a hurry here, young lady, and this basketball game will be getting underway in just short order here at the Berg. Welcome. Good to have you with us. Our pregame brought to you by Baybell Restaurant and the Bayview Center Bait Shop. They're both located and in Bayview. Now stay tuned. It's the Tigers and the Polar Bears getting ready to mix it up in the Berg. Our first quarter is being brought to you by Hartung Title, who, of course, is well known for supporting local athletics for generations across the North Coast. And also Toft Funeral Home and Crematory. So look at the Polar Bears gathered around head coach Steve Keller. Julian Washington jumping for Margaretta and Jackson McNulty for Huron, and away we go. Huron coming out on defense and allowing some room for that basketball in the corner. Tyson Bailey taking that first move into the paint and the kick out front, and kind of working the perimeter a little bit and can't get that ball inside. It results in a turnover as Charlie Hardy comes out of there with it for the Tigers. Nicely done right off the bat in the paint by Tommy McDonald, who's taking leadership at the point guard position this year for the Tigers. Huron on the board first, 44 seconds into the contest on our Civista Bank scoreboard. Charlie Hardy with the early whistle. This is Judy Keller into the paint and forcing his way to the basket and getting the first two-pointer of the ball game. Keller, 6-foot sophomore. So it is amazing when you take a look at this Margaretta basketball team. It's a veteran team, but it's a young team at the same time because, I mean, Judy Keller, he's a sophomore. Julian Washington, he's a sophomore. But they both played their entire freshman years on varsity. That's how ready these young men were. And that just doesn't happen. They have just played an awful lot of travel basketball together and now doing it on the high school floor as well. Boy, coming off the screen well and driving to the basket, Landon Holler, but unable to finish it off. So out of there on the run is Tate Bailey. This Margaretta basketball team is fun to watch because they can hurt you from so many different dimensions. They're just a fun team to watch play. And Huron got a whole lot of new bodies on the floor this year, along with some of the veteran leadership from last year. Interesting to see the way it's going to blend under first-year head coach Joby Miller, who is certainly no stranger to the game. Tate Bailey with a nice feed underneath, and he gets that reverse layup to fall. A look at Julian Washington, the assist game can be one of the most fun ones to watch, and that's the way you escape the defense of Jackson McNulty. You just go the other direction, and Bailey perfect on the lay-in. Somewhere in the background there, you caught the glimpse of a photographer who's just kind of standing there doing something. We don't really know what. We never really know what, but we'll probably get a glimpse of her later on, I'm sure. Tate Bailey, once again, knocking one home for the Polar Bears, who are off to a quick start and into that trapping pressure defense in the backcourt, trying to disrupt the Tigers. Margaretta with a 6-1 early lead. There's the drive by Scroggins, but the rejection by the Polar Bear defense. And then the long ball from Gage Bodie. There's the dual threat Margaretta offense we're talking about. They can take their size and physicality down low, but they can also kick it out and do damage from behind the arc. And you just don't know who, because Bodie can take you down low as well as do this. So pick your poison. But that one was nothing but net. And it was just in case the official didn't see it, Gage is showing him, that was a 3, sir. The Margaretta fans looking very businesslike in their approach as we go to some signs of good business. Please support these local area establishments. Brady Signs, the Bay Bell Restaurant, Crush Wine Bar, J Bistro, Cameo Pizza, S&H Blinds and Floors, Pizza House West, Groff Family Services, Remax Quality Realty, Linda Armstrong and the A-Team, Fosco Cement, Huron have to fight from an early 8-point deficit in this one. And that's a nice job of just driving through traffic to the basket to put this one home, as we'll look at the offense of Cody Scroggins right here. Tate Bailey Tyson Bailey rather, doing the textbook thing of keeping the hand straight up, but moving with the ball handler as well. But Scroggins getting best of that exchange. Huron on the boards and the run. McNulty couldn't get to the basket, so it's going to be Scroggins resetting things for the Tigers. Tommy McDonald cut off by Judah Keller. That's what Julian Washington does on defense. Tyson Bailey with that pull-up jump shot. Again, pick your poison, folks. Who are you going to devote your defensive attention to? That's why Margaretta is so dangerous. Eight points is the Margaretta spread here in the first quarter. McDonald on the take, can't hit the turnaround, and the rebound for Washington. Tate Bailey trying to get that entry pass into the paint, kicked away and out of bounds by Huron as we zero in on our Civista Bank scoreboard. It shows the Polar Bears in early control of this one. And a little bit too close on the checking is Landon Holer of Huron. Nice dish off from Keller to Bailey, and Tyson with another 2 for the Polar Bears. This is paving the way for Hermes Parker Concrete Limited of Sandusky. It's a great segment for paving the way because it is Gage Bodie taking that pathway down low, giving up a decent shot for a better shot, and Tyson Bailey with the finish. That's paving the way, and it's brought to you by Hermes Parker Concrete Limited of Sandusky. Tommy McDonald. Nice way of shooting his way through traffic for the Tigers. Best way to answer. Tyson Bailey keeping it alive, but a little bit too aggressively, according to the officials. So Huron again down by 8, trying to make it 5. Well, credit that one to Tommy McDonald. You look at the business-like look in the face of Judah Keller. That look doesn't change, folks. He just gets after it hard no matter what's going on. Positive, negative, the expression stays the same. That's Gage Bodie again. Off to a good start for the Polar Bears. Bodie, 6'1" senior. Gage is one of those kids because he got some exposure when he was a freshman to varsity as well, and we saw him play a lot of quality minutes in JV as a freshman. I'm sure to the opposition, seems like Gage has been playing for like about 8 years now. Look at Jackson McNulty. He knows how to get to the basket. McNulty, one of those veterans of the Tigers, and we can trace him back as well to his roots as a freshman a couple of years ago. Think, man, boy, this kid's going to be good. And now as a junior, yeah, he's pretty good. Big spin move and jumper in the paint. Good touch for Judah Keller. It's kind of making things happen on your own right here. Spin away from a double team and then drop down the contested jump shot. Margaretta matching up right here. See, now this is where things just become unfair for a broadcaster. Yeah, I'm looking for sympathy, I guess. Cale Bailey is now on the floor. So you've got Tate, you've got Tyson, you've got Cale. It's like the Millers from a couple of years ago. Everywhere you look, there's one of the family. That's just, again, we go back to that word iconic. But when you do ball games in Castalia, it's the way it is. It's a family affair at Margaretta, which is why they always support sports so well. You get further along in tournament time, and it's one of those old-fashioned lines, but it's true. They support so well. It's like last one out of the village, turn out the lights because everybody goes. It's the thing to do in Castalia as we watch Jackson McNulty score for the Tigers. And that's a good thing. It's the thing to do. High school sports should be the thing to do. There's Cale Bailey with the foul from behind. Cale is a 6'3" freshman who's getting time on varsity. Tyson Bailey, a 6'1" freshman. Tate's the oldster of the bunch, who is a junior. Just 7 seconds to go in the quarter with Huron holding what seems to be their constant lead in this first quarter. Margaretta with that 8-point advantage. And the scramble at the buzzer, and Julian Washington still had the common sense to get that ball away before the buzzer. Margaretta by 8 after 1 at the Berg. I think this is one of my favorite shots we ever have of high school sports when you look across the pond into the village. Our second quarter coming up for the Old Fish House in Huron with knickknacks, snacks, and BS facts for everybody. No favorites over there. Everybody gets the same kind of stuff. There's your Civista Bank scoreboard after 1. Margaretta holding the 17-9 advantage. And Huron getting first chance in the second quarter to cut into that deficit. When you're the team that's trailing, you always hope you've got something that happens right at the end of the quarter. It's going to turn things away or turn things around on that first possession, but not there as the steal comes for Nolan Wiley. Wiley is a junior. Margaretta will turn it over, and Huron's going to get another opportunity here, down by 8. Well, the idea was right, and the bounce pass might have been the answer there, but that chest pass knocked away and out of bounds. Bodie with a drive and then the kick out. Wiley trying the same thing. Retrieved well by Cale Bailey at the sideline, and as you saw from Coach Keller at the sideline, going to reset things. Great rebound and put back by Bailey that wouldn't go. Now at the other end, Charlie Hardy got amongst the trees down low and couldn't get the shot to fall, but Margaretta couldn't get the basketball, so Huron gets another opportunity. Somebody looking to break the scoring column here in the second quarter. About a minute 45 in. Tommy McDonald, a little Euro step through. And there's hands everywhere. Special thanks going out to the following businesses, which we would love to see you lend your support. There's your Civista Bank scoreboard. It has not moved yet in the second quarter. Margaretta still holding the exact same advantage they had at the end of the first 8 minutes of play. Gage Bodie trying to change that. It's going to be up to the Tigers. Try and move the numbers on the board. Jackson McNulty, the man to get it done for Huron. We've got a 6-point ball game. There's the steal by Washington. And the timeout on the floor as Steve Keller wants to try and get things changed around for the Polar Bears here in the second quarter. Thank you to the following local businesses for their support of the North Coast Game of the Week. Matthews Ford, Cook Aluminum, Hermes Parker Concrete, Wake Up and Waffle, Noble Fun, Schmid Architects, Steinemann Hafner Insurance, Payne Nichols and Company, Sandusky Steel and Supply, Gnomes Podiatric Medicine, Margaretta 17 and Huron 11, second quarter of play at the Iceberg. Huron hanging around in this one. Double team on Washington. It pivots around. And as the ball poked away in the paint, and Huron forcing a turnover, and here's Jackson McNulty. I'll tell you what, McNulty can be a load. And not only is he just a big kid, but he's got great skills. This is bringing the heat for Gunlock Sheet Metal Works Incorporated. Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and refrigeration since 1889. It's off the little pick and roll that McNulty gets himself open down low and then fights his way around Judy Keller for the score. That's what you call earning a basket. And that's Jackson McNulty bringing the heat for Gunlock Sheet Metal Works Incorporated, located on Columbus Avenue in Sandusky. Julian Washington on the board for the Bears. And once he gets on the board, look out. Floodgates can open in a hurry. Here's Tommy McDonald for the Tigers. They are back to within 4 halfway through the quarter until Tyson Bailey answers for the Bears to put that lead back up at 6. Signs of good business are next. Please support these local area businesses. Capizzi's Pizzeria, Noble Axes, Wendy's, Marketplace, Diedrich Motors, Murray & Murray, Experienced Trial Lawyers, Hartung Title, Wake Up and Waffle, a lot of times over the holidays, it's tough to draw in really good basketball crowds, but people love these Margaretta Huron games. And it can be in just about any sport you're talking about. From long range, a rim rattler by Scroggins, and Washington clearing the rebound. There's Tate Bailey in the paint. Margaretta responding well off that timeout and upping their lead to 8. There's the block and takeaway by Julian Washington. Charlie Hardy missing on that one, but he again is one of the great streaky shooters in our area. When he is hot, he can light it up. I mean, flat out light it up. From just about anywhere. He's not gun shy. Washington on the run out. And a couple of freebies coming up. Margaretta by 9, coming down toward the 2-minute mark remaining in the first half of play. Nice drive and finish by Scroggins. Just what the Tigers needed at this point to trim that deficit down to 7 on another look here for Matthews Ford. Just that little opening, left side of the lane. Nice touch by Scroggins over Keller, and the Tigers back to within 7. Here's the steal by Cody. And how about Julian Washington? The old LeBron block from behind. This is good stuff. This is a great steal by Scroggins. Then what looks to be a lay-in. Pow! That's pretty good stuff. Julian Washington out of nowhere. Jackson McNulty. And we get a little bit of trash stuff going on as well. If you're going to do it to us, I'm going to do it right back to you guys. What a nice dish by Keller. And Tyson Bailey, the beneficiary. You know, sometimes assists are just as fun to look at. This is your team play of the game for Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Professional Realty. I love a great assist. And this is just as pretty as they come. You got Judy Keller creating, defense collapses. Whoop! There's Tyson Bailey. Forgot about him. Nicely done by both Keller and Bailey, both on the same page. And that is your team play of the game. Live, laugh, love, and list with Tarina Sidoti, Realtor at Berkshire Hathaway. That leads to a 9-point Margaretta advantage. Turnaround by McNulty coming up a bit short, and Keller starting to break to Bailey, and then the rebound swiped out of there by McNulty. Landon Holler from the corner. The kick out by McNulty to McDonald coming up short. Rebound by Keller, and look out. Here comes Julian Washington soaring high in the air to lay it home. Not dunk it home, but lay it home anyway. But boy, get a little bit of quality airtime right there. This is your pancake play of the game for Sandusky Bay Pancake House since 1966 with a $10 gift card on the end of this. There's the shot coming up short by McDonald. The rebound and run out by Keller. You can see Washington. These two have played a lot of basketball together, so they know where each other are. Boy, that's nicely done. Another great assist for Keller and a high-flying lay-in for Julian Washington. That's your pancake play of the game for Sandusky Bay Pancake House since 1966. Now an 11-point advantage for Margaretta. Joe Wood coming up short. And now Margaretta winding down the first half of play here in Castalia. Proponents of a shot clock in high school basketball will take this kind of situation and say, this is why they need to have it. It's like, I don't know. It may happen someday, but I'm too old school for that stuff. I love high school basketball in its pure form. There you go. It's an 11-point lead for Margaretta at the break, 28-17. Lots more exciting Bay Division hoops to go, so stay with us. It's your North Coast Game of the Week. It's just a gorgeous sight, folks, whether the sun's on it or not. It's the duck pond. It's the duck pond, for crying out loud. Restore Pro Disaster Cleanup and Restoration brings you our third quarter, along with Baybell Restaurant and the Bayview Center Bait Shop in Bayview. Only thing missing is the Ducks. Go figure. I don't want to call it the water pond. Somehow I knew we'd get that shot. It's always going to be there. And as usual, she ain't doing anything. Oh no. That's a horrible sight. That's a frightening sight. Erin Caldwell from the Sandusky Register, always doing a great job. That's why we can give her so much grief, is because we always tack a compliment on at the end of it. But she does great work, as does the entire Register team. We're very fortunate to have such a local sports team around like that, covering our local student athletes. All right, our second half of action underway, an 11-point lead for the Margaretta Polar Bears. The Tigers trying to make it single digits at the outset of the second half. Jackson McNulty trying his darndest to get to the basket, but the Margaretta defense being very stubborn. Cody Scroggins a little bit over the back, and Margaretta's basketball. State Bailey out front. Julian Washington, nice vision underneath, and Jackson McNulty just doing what Jackson McNulty does. Tommy McDonald bangs it off the back of the iron for Judy Keller, and everybody knows when Judy gets the ball, just start running down the floor. He's got it under control. That's a move, folks, that doesn't just happen either. He's done this a few times, and it's just a purely instinctive thing. It's nothing you analyze. It's just from playing basketball that you know exactly which way to turn to get around your defender and to the basket. That's just great basketball from a very good basketball player in Judy Keller. I mean, stop and think. You don't have time to think about that. It happens too fast. Here's McNulty at the line for Huron. Good shooter's touch on the first one. And Gage Bodie rebounding the second. McNulty with the rebound secured, the victim of a reach-in, and Huron will continue with their possession. With McDonald taking on Judy Keller and the Margaretta defense. I kind of thought I saw that pivot foot switch, and that's exactly what the official called right there. And again, McNulty doing his thing. McNulty has just such great reach. I mean, he's 6'4", but great extension as well. And it's like Julian Washington at the other end. He's just tough to get over. That's a great basketball move right there by the Huron quarterback, Cody Scroggins. Worth another look for Matthews Ford once again. Scroggins taking that baseline drive. He knows Washington's going to be on the chase, so that little head fake up gets Washington off his feet and then finishes. Ten-point Margaretta lead on our Civista Bank scoreboard. Boy, every time there's a Margaretta miss, it seems like McNulty's all over those rebounds. Holer open. McNulty back to the line. 1 out of 2 at the line for the Huron junior. Ball movement by Margaretta, and then the crossover by Washington, taking it down low, trying to create. A couple of tip opportunities that time for Noel and Wiley that didn't pan out. Landon Holer keeping the possession alive for the Tigers. Tommy McDonald is a living testament to how tough it is to operate an offense when you're being guarded by Julian Washington. Well, something was said. Here comes your play of the game for Civista Bank. They are focused on you, and the official right here was focused on Tommy McDonald. It's half of the part of playing defense is just to rattle the person you're guarding. If the person you're guarding goes home and has a nightmare about you, you've done your job. Watch this. Keller all over it. And the official with the immediate technical call on McDonald. Now he said, wait a minute. You were on the backside. I was doing that so you couldn't see me. Play of the game is brought to you by Civista Bank. They are focused on you. Officials have eyes everywhere. And now, of course, things start getting a little heated. And the Margaretta student section having some fun with it. Best thing in the world right here, and this is Toby Miller calling a timeout to just kind of give the situation time to calm down a little bit. Thanks to the following local businesses for their support of the game of the week. Good Time Lake Erie Cruises, Wake Up and Waffle, Schmid Architects, Shore House Tavern, The Crimus Company, Pizza House West. Here comes your North Coast Moment. It is brought to you by Shores and Islands, Ohio. This week's North Coast Moment takes us to, where else? The Jackson Street Pier in downtown Sandusky, where we just get to enjoy the wintertime serenity of Sandusky Bay. Now you get to see the Twin Towers at Cedar Point, part of the skyline that has been a little bit revamped, even though all the excitement building toward the springtime when we get to try out that Top Thrill 2 for the very first time. But that tower's done. It's ready to go. Jackson Street Pier, which, of course, just hosted First Night Sandusky for the new year. And, you know, a lot of people were kind of undecided about whether they wanted all that money spent on the Jackson Street Pier. There has never been a better decision than what was made there in putting that great spot together. Your North Coast Moment is brought to you, as always, by the good folks at Shores and Islands, Ohio. All right, things are going to settle down a little bit here during the timeout. Julian Washington shooting the technicals. Margaretta now finds himself up by a baker's dozen here at 13. I love the Huron student section in the background being a part of the activities. What a nice driving One-hand floater that time by Nolan Wiley. And again, we're talking about another junior for the Polar Bears. Nice touch. The 3.5-minute mark of the third quarter, extending the Polar Bear lead to 15, but only momentarily. A lot of times when you have a heated moment like we had just a few moments ago, the officials all of a sudden tend to tighten the bootstraps a little bit, at least for a while, to make sure we maintain control of the game. And it's probably not a bad move to get the players to back off a little bit. Boy, what a nice move to the basket. A left-hander by Tate Bailey. And this is just good basketball sense here. You read the defense. What are the openings? What are they giving me? This is why you develop both hands as a youngster. Get the defense moving. Defense comes after you a little bit too aggressively, so you take them one-on-one to the basket, and Bailey wins that battle. And that's that left-hand touch. That's why you develop the left hand. Tommy McDonald out front against Wiley. Nice crossover move into the paint, and then the foul by Wiley, and McDonald draws a couple of the foul, putting Bailey at the line. In Washington. Unfortunately, Scroggins down shaken up on that play. Now taking his place for the free throw shooting is Quentin Conway, a 6-foot sophomore. Strong left-hand move to the basket again by Judah Keller this time. It's becoming a team-wide thing here, isn't it? Doesn't make any difference which hand they use. They're just as strong with either one of them. Nice move by Tommy McDonald to the hole for Huron. Boy, both these teams, as we take another look for Matthews Ford, that's just simply around the screen by McNulty. McDonald still had to fight through the defense to get the shot up, and he got it through. So Margaretta back in possession of the basketball again. Julian Washington couldn't get that pull-up jumper to fall. Huron trying to cut that 14-point lead down. Not that time, as Wiley will rebound it down the floor to Julian Washington. Here's another look for Matthews Ford off the rebound. Everybody starts running because it doesn't make any difference who gets the ball. We're going to try and score before the defense gets set. And that time, 100% successful. Julian Washington on the receiving end. I'm getting the feeling that if there was a challenge flag in high school basketball, it might have been thrown out by Margaretta on this one. Take a look. Again, great reach by Washington. Yeah, and I think a lot of it is you saw the official right in the picture right there. He didn't see anything. The official from behind is the one that made the call. A lot of times they don't question the call as much as they do who made the call.
Let's go back to an attack. No dunker stuff. Attack and fight. Hey, I ain't subbing like that. But here's what I am. Listen. I'm not going to numbers at that. I was going to go high numbers on McDonald because he hurt
Signs of good business are up next. Please support these local area businesses. Gunlock Sheet Metal Works Incorporated. Schmid Architects. Mags Automotive and Machine Incorporated. Holler Furnace and Sheet Metal. Crush Wine Bar. David F. Cook Funeral and Cremation Services. Pizza Brothers. Dockside Cafe. I just saw sunshine in that picture. O.E. Meyer Company. Toft Funeral Home and Crematory. There's more sunshine. It does exist somewhere. Just not live and in person anymore. Well, I don't know. Mike Lilge told us earlier that was like the worst baseball coach in the North Coast or whatever, but it looks like he knows what he's talking about in basketball. Danny Lindsley, along with Mike Lilge on BCSN. Down low, McNulty swatted away by Bailey, and the Bears are on the break. Good anticipation by McNulty. For a big guy, pretty good job of running the floor, too. Just couldn't finish that one. So Gage Bodie with a rebound. And the outlet for Washington. Nice to see Cody Scroggins back on the floor once again. And kept that last rebound alive to save the possession for Huron. Good defense by Gage Bodie, keeping McNulty away from the basket. End of the third quarter draws near at the Iceberg. Huron whittling the clock down. For McNulty. Well, doesn't always turn out that way. That time it did. Back to the pond. Well, you've seen it from all angles tonight. James Rusat, CPA, Income Tax and Accounting, ready to bring you our fourth quarter of action between the Polar Bears and the Tigers at the Iceberg. Fourth quarter also sponsored by Toft Funeral Home and Crematory. It is Huron's basketball down by 14 as our fourth quarter begins. Don't fall asleep on this Margaretta defense. Nolan Wiley to the basket for the Bears. By your numbers, play of the game. This is James Rusat, CPA, Income Tax and Accounting, bringing you this one. Again, you got to keep the ball active. If not, look, you can see Wiley before that, just kind of sizing it. He comes back here, I'm getting it, and he did. The steal, the run out, and the finish. All by Nolan Wiley. Nicely done. That is your By the Numbers Play of the Game, sponsored by James Rusat, CPA, Income Tax and Accounting Service. Margaretta back to work on defense now after stretching their lead out to 16. Well, Tate Bailey says, yeah, I took the brunt of that one. Margaretta calling the 30-second timeout. So we will say thanks to the following businesses for their support of the North Coast Game of the Week. Daly's Pub, UBS Financial Services, Fidelity National Title, Leslie Murray Law, The Landmark Kitchen and Bar, Luco, O.E. Meyer Company Propane Division, Pizza Brothers, Fosco Cement, Groff Family Services, Murray & Murray, Mags Automotive, Toft Funeral Home and Crematory, Linda Armstrong Remax. Even down by 16, Huron cheerleaders doing what they're supposed to do, and that's cheer, smile, be happy, root your home team on, and 45-29, the Margaretta lead, stretched by 2 more by Judy Keller, slicing and dicing through traffic to the basket for Margaretta. Here's a slow-mo look for Matthews Ford as to what slicing and dicing is all about. Give him the lane, he's going to take it. All in the day's work for Judy Keller, the Polar Bears. Huron hung around and hung around. Margaretta just never really let them close. I think it was down to 4 at one point. But I tell you what, this play is just filled with outstanding basketball. Let's watch right here from the point where the ball gets rebounded by Keller. Look at him look down the floor. How's that for a great lead pass to McNulty? The swat by McNulty. The putback by Bailey. 1, 2, 3, 4 great plays all in one play. That's good stuff. That's great high school basketball right there. Didn't want to be rude, but Coach Keller, you're in our way. There's Judah with the rebound. Keller runs it up the floor and comes up short on the 3. Nolan Wiley with the offensive retrieve. Washington will inbound. Nice to have a big guy who can run the ball down the floor for you, and Jackson McNulty can basically do it all for Huron. Speaking of doing it all, there's Judy Keller. Well, how many more things can we say about this young man and the way he plays the game? Knocks it away, comes up with a loose ball, hits the break going down to the corner, and knocks down that baseline jump shot. All in a day's work. Little extra step. Was overruled by the foul, and Judy Keller adds 2 more on. And now, after Huron kind of hung around for 3 quarters, Margaretta putting it away here in the 4th. It's been fun to watch the evolution of Tommy McDonald getting a few more minutes every year as a varsity basketball player. And this year, as a junior, really coming into his own. Margaretta taking their time as with this 24-point lead. Not really a lot of reason to hurry. Milking that clock down near 3:10 left to go now in the fourth quarter. Ryan Sass and Tommy McDonald teaming up for the Huron defense. And then Charlie Hardy with the long ball, and he has that look in his face like, finally. Tate Bailey on the drive and score for the Polar Bears. Nice little fade away by McDonald. You can see in the background down near 2 minutes left to go in this ball game, and the Margaretta Polar Bears with things pretty much under control in this SBC Bay Division rivalry. That pull-up jumper right on the mark for Keegan Morris, a 6'1 sophomore. And there's the long-range basket for Huron from Quentin Conway. At this point, everybody knows who's going to win it just by a matter of what the final score is going to be. From downtown, Micah Groot, 6'2" senior, getting a chance to put his name in the stat sheet. In the long run, this game ends up with a final score that really didn't indicate the battle Huron put up here for 3 quarters anyway, and just trying to keep close. It was really the big start by Margaretta. That 9-1 lead they came out of the gates with early. Huron never really could fully recover from that. But they hung around until this fourth quarter just opened up uncontrollably to the final buzzer, where we see the Polar Bears victorious 60-38 over the Huron Tigers. So Margaretta a winner as they continue to stay atop the Bay Division of the Sandusky Bay Conference. We're going to go to the River Division next when we get together on the Game of the Week. We'll be catching you in the Den inside the Kinzel Center at St. Mary's Central Catholic High School as the Panthers will host the Lakota Raiders in a River Division battle. So hopefully you'll be right with us when we get together next on TW Teleproductions North Coast Game of the Week. Again, Happy New Year, and we'll see you next time.